Have you ever lived or stayed anywhere where you feel like there's maybe been some paranormal activity going on? In my second year of uni, I lived in a house with 3 other students, had to remember then, getting old, and we did have some weird activity. We'd have electrical appliances coming on very late at night when everybody had gone to bed, so we had the TV come on several times, we had the tumble dryer come on. I assume my housemates had left it on a weird timer or something, but every time I asked them, did you turn the dryer on, they would obviously deny it. We also had weird noises like knocking and stuff. So one time an ex of mine had stayed over, he'd gone into the kitchen very late at night to get himself a drink, and I heard him, or so I thought, knock on the wall 3 times. It was very specific, knock, knock, knock. He then comes into the bedroom and says to me, "Why were you knocking on the wall?" And I said, "I didn't knock on the wall, I thought that was you." He denied it. But while I was in that house, there were 2 things that made me feel particularly unnerved and unsettled. If you were in the front room by yourself, it felt like somebody was watching you. Now, the living room, there was a doorway between the living room and the kitchen. If you sat on the sofa, which was against the wall just by the door, it felt like someone was there just standing staring at you. However, every time you go to look, obviously there's nobody there, but it just had a real strong feeling that you were being watched. And the other thing that happened was that I was in the downstairs bedroom, which was my room, the other 3 were upstairs. Me and my 2 housemates, we were playing GTA, and I had on the side a packet of Satsumas, and they weren't in like a plastic tub, they were in netting. They were sitting on the side, and for no reason whatsoever, they didn't roll gently off the side, they shot off the side and hit the floor. It was so bizarre. We were all I think we were all a bit shocked by it. Nobody said anything. There was just this silence that came over the room. I gingerly leant down and picked them up and put them back on the side, and of course they didn't move again. We didn't say anything to each other. We then just turned back to GTA and just pretended that what had happened had not happened. Now, when we looked at logical things, obviously we can say that with electrical items coming on, there might have been electrical surges, which is entirely possible, could have powered them on. Noises in a house are not that uncommon, bangs and creaks and all that kind of thing. But oranges flying off the side, that was a new one for me, because we were not on a railway track, so there was no train going past, and we were on quite a quiet residential street, so there were no lorries or big trucks or anything going past that again could have given the house a bit of a shake. That one was very, very strange, and I think all of us felt that it was odd by the fact that no one said anything or treated it in any kind of way as a normal thing. We just went silent and did not acknowledge. So I know it's not the most terrifying haunted house story ever, but it was weird to have those little things going on, and sometimes it did make you feel quite uncomfortable. Have you ever stayed anywhere like that? Have you had a really terrifying experience staying somewhere? Let me know, I would love to hear about it. Have a great day!